Hello, and very happy to see you on our channel. Today we give you a piece of breaking news from a royal expert. The PR disaster of Meghan and Harry caused the backlash of British military families. Global press has reported widespread backlash from military families of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's professionally photographed visit to an American cemetery, seen as self-promoting photo op. Did the couple issue a statement of apology? To answer this question, one only has to look to the past. The Sussex fame addicts have careened from one PR disaster to another, and so far this is what we have heard from them. If you look back at anything that I've said, it's really interesting because what ends up being inflammatory, it seems, is people's interpretation of it, Meghan said. But if you listen to what I actually say, it's not controversial. I think we can apply this to their actions as well, not their fault. My goodness, everyone, we keep forgetting they are never wrong or controversial, just misunderstood. Seriously, how could we not understand a foreign-titled prince, a guest in our country, and his stiletto heel-wearing wife hijacking a U.S. veteran cemetery for their own personal monetary gain and self-promotion? I mean, doesn't everyone bring their own photographer and a film crew? Close down a cemetery to the real relatives of the veterans to make sure there were multiple pictures and takes of their visit. Let's not forget Meghan's shoes appearing in almost immediately after the release of the photos. Those fashionistas have eagle eyes to recognize the shoe so quickly. By the way, take a good look at the photos that we now know were taken weeks before the actual day. Time needed to Photoshop, perhaps. Meghan seems to be missing a leg in one and a strap to her shoe in the other, as well as her foot sinking below the surface. Forgive me if I question the sincerity of the gestures when it appears to be important to have the best photos. Prior to this stunt, it was released that Harry had been denied having a personal wreath laid due to the fact that he is no longer a working royal, and there were no personal wreaths laid. He made the decision to step down, and choices have consequences. This is one. However, all we heard was poor Harry is a grown man and should be well aware of the duties he can no longer perform. Continuing to foster the poor Harry scenario over and over because of the choices he is making just enables him to remain a man-child, not having to accept the consequences of his decisions. Harry is a veteran, and he served his time, and as such, he has every right to honor his fallen colleagues. Although I will say this, he has ditched his military responsibilities in the past, so it is a bit coincidental that now he has remembered. I digress. There were so many other options to honor the fallen heroes than the one the Sussexes chose, and this choice produced a visible outraged reaction from many. Why don't we, for once, hold the duo accountable for their actions and see what happens? I believe in this case the public has, and surprise, no apology, just more PR people added to their staff. Either they are not listening to the people they pay to advise them, or they just don't care. Does this look like someone who admits they are wrong? How can we be mistaken about this sainted person? Such devotion and genuine feeling. No need to apologize. As usual, the public just misunderstood. We apparently do that a lot, according to the Sussexes. Now they've really hit the NOS on. They have yet again PR, and I'm sure they are paying tons of money for it. They are wasting their money. People gripe that their Montecito starter home per Meghan is $14 to $17 million. They've already spent that much on U.S. PR. It's like Harry and Meghan have declared their own civil war on the U.S. You will like us, or we will make you so incapacitated with frustration that you can no longer protest us. I'd love to know how she got so far into this very well-maintained grass cemetery without losing a shoe, never mind a strap. The fact is, this couple of self-indulgent, ignorant, tone-deaf individuals will never apologize for their wrongdoing because we are the wrongdoers constantly misinterpreting these minor royal miscreants. Is Meghan Markle attempting to imitate Kim Kardashian to earn more money and fame? We did some practice debates with the daughter and her teammates and did a mock debate with a very similar proposition. I was on Meghan's side and whining quite comfortably until one line, quote, "She's like an old white man with no idea of social media." I really didn't know how to counter that, and still don't. I can't get it out of my head of a blatant PR grab with Meghan and Harry and trying to hijack Remembrance Day. Hire a photographer and go to a cemetery, put out a press release and try to hog the front pages of the newspapers. Oh, so 20th century. Old white man move. Crap, forgot a mask. Better do a photo with a mask. Old white man super privileged move. Put out you are in touch with colonials. Point out it is an Australian and a Canadian grave you are honoring. Why is it an super privileged white man move and insulting, you ask? Australians remember the dead on Anzac Day, which both celebrates the sacrifice but also a remembrance of when we were the victims of racism. When Winston Churchill, not for the last time, was happy to sacrifice less desirables. A quick divert for our American friends, racism isn't a black versus white deal. The first ever anti-discrimination case in the 60s used, which were common signs in boarding houses. This was repeated in the Second World War with Montgomery. The British general who was thought so little of was trolled in Saving Private Ryan. Tan Danson was overrated. Happy to send Indian and Maori troops in harm's way. In fact, the two Maori battalions revolted and did their own thing and broke through German lines. For ethnic members of other countries, this is often a problem with films like 1917, and indeed nearly all war films leaving out Indian and ethnic troops, what is termed whitewashing. And in the U.S., you have the writing out of the Native Americans and Latinos, especially with the Wild West, nod to Kevin Costner, and On the Range, who was woke before it was a thing. This is at the heart of the whole Kim and Meghan comparisons. It's all about me. However, this is Kim, whereas Meghan is more like, Maya is slick and polished, and Meghan uses the similar steal your thunder techniques, like posting overproduced content, but there is a key difference. Kim exploits herself. She was the stylist for Paris Hilton and saw how she had done, so she exploits herself. Meghan exploits others. So to answer this question, no, Meghan does not imitate Kim. They borrow some of Kim's techniques, but Kim exploits herself mostly, while Meghan exploits others. Is Harry really happy with Meghan? The million-dollar question. Who knows? On the occasions when you see them together, neither looks happy and relaxed. Neither seems content, even familiar in the company of the other. Little nods, little smiles, none of them are on show. Just beige walls, some books, mostly beige, the occasional plant, green, and a few pictures, beige and black, with them occupying the beige sofa, Meghan usually occupying pride of place, dressed in beige, brown, or black. Behind closed doors? Who knows? And those who do aren't telling because they have been paid huge sums of money for signing an NDA agreement. I'm sure the Loveys will say they are blissfully in love and blissfully happy living their own life with their little one and watching him grow. At the other end of the spectrum, they are barely speaking, and Meghan rules the roost. Harry could have been thrown out of her bedroom or not. We know he has been before, so it wouldn't be a surprise. Neither looks particularly fit and well in spite of the swimming pool. But then again, maybe they are not living in the house they supposedly bought and is currently renting for $700 an hour. Who knows what they are doing, unless they are walking inappropriately around a cemetery of war graves or similar. We don't see them outside at all. Another strange thing was that weird comment about appreciating family time during COVID. How would they normally be traveling and working? Why? You don't need to work to eat like most of us do. You can easily make every day, week, month family time. Or is your word salad more important than your child that you must leave him to spread your gospel? Harry was on Strictly Come Dancing this evening, obviously via an internet link. An ex-Royal Marine Commando J.J. Chalmers, who knows Harry from the Invictus Games, is a contestant. Harry spoke to him whilst he was rehearsing during the week. He was by himself, no Meghan pulling his strings. It is the first time I have seen him smiling for ages. He was so animated and seemed happy to be in contact with his old friend. Harry was his old self, relaxed and joking. How about you? What do you think of the PR disaster of Meghan and Harry lately? Please let us know in the comment section below and discuss them together. And as always, come back to our channel for all the latest news on the royal family, Meghan and Harry right here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.